I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Minccino. The chinchilla is a small mammal found in the mountains of Peru. Technically rodents, they are famous for their amazingly thick, soft fur, and the subsequent cleanliness they must exhibit in order to maintain this gorgeous coat. Chinchillas brush their living space with their bushy tails, and bathe themselves using sand because their coat would absorb water too easily. Alas, this same beautiful coat has meant chinchillas have been hunted for their fur for millennia. The very name chinchilla comes from the Chincha people, who wore their furs in the time of the Inca. Today, chinchillas are endangered in the wild, and though their hunting is illegal, poaching still occurs, and chinchilla fur that comes from farms is still sold. Minccino is a cute little normal-type Pokemon with the overabundance of fur and the bushy tail, famous of a chinchilla. Minccino even shares the real-life chinchilla's famous clean habits. Pokemon White tells us, "These Pokemon prefer a tidy habitat. They are always sweeping and dusting, using their tails as brooms." And Ultra Moon says, "When its tail has gotten dirty from self-cleaning, or from cleaning its nest, Minccino spends a whole day washing its tail in clean spring water." Minccino is a very cute Pokemon, and from interviews, we know it was created with the specific intention of having an extra cute monster in the 5th generation's lineup. The task was handed to Atsuko Nishida, famous as the original designer of Pikachu, and she did a great job. When introduced to a shiny stone, Minccino loses the mini part of its name and evolves into Cinccino. Cinccino has an abundant white mane which resembles a fancy scarf and coat, making this a chinchilla which has reclaimed the fashion so often derived from the death of these animals. Pokemon X tells us, "Their white fur feels amazing to touch. Their fur repels dust and prevents static electricity from building up." And Pokemon Y says, "Cinccino's body is coated in a special oil that helps it deflect attacks, such as punches." Cinccino is not a particularly defensive monster in practice. In fact, it's most famous for its unusually great attacking capabilities. Thanks to the ability's Skill Link, it has long been able to take advantage of moves like Double Slap or Bullet Seed by guaranteeing 5 hits. A decent selection of moves let it hit a variety of opponents. The introduction of the loaded dice item in Generation 9, which gives a similar advantage to any Pokemon that holds it, didn't hurt Cinccino. Instead, it let it switch to the Technician ability and dish out even more damage per attack. A unique niche in combat. Welcome back to Does Andy Remember Gen 5 Pokemon?
And if so, does he have any thoughts about them?
Minccino.
Minccino is a little fox thing. Is it a fox?
Well, it's a chinchilla, I presume.
Yes, of course. I believe we discussed this previously, so that's embarrassing on my part. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't know much about chinchillas, except for one time, I think our cat brought back a chinchilla.
Oh, blimey.
That it hunted. Yeah.
I think this is a true fact. Chinchillas have such fine fur. They can't get themselves wet, so they wash themselves by rolling around in sand.
Do they need sand nearby? What happens if they don't have any sand?
They just honk, I guess.
Are we going to validate this fact, or are you just...
Nah. I mean, when I do the full episode, I will, not for chatting to you.
Okay.
I'm supine on my sofa right now, mate.
Write in, folks, if you know more chinchilla facts.
That name that Andy enjoys combines chinchilla with cino, used in Italian for something small, like a cappuccino. The Japanese name is very similar, Chillicino, Though it couldn't be Cinccino, as Chinchin means something quite rude in Japanese. Chinchillas are cute animals, and I understand a desire to be just as cute and fluffy. I hope we can continue towards a world where we can be as fashionable as Cinccino without hurting any animals to do it. Original music for Luke Loves Pokemon is by Jonathan Cromie, and artwork is by Katie Groves. Funding is provided by listeners at patreon.com/podcastiopodcastius. For just $1 a month, supporters can listen to episodes a week early and also help cover hosting and fees, making it possible for me to keep making episodes every week. I love hearing from listeners. Get in touch about upcoming Pokemon on Twitter or Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN. Drop a comment if you're watching the video, or a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Coming up are Gothita and Solosis, so please get in touch about those or any other monsters. Even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Minccino, and remember, I love you too.